Student Leaders Blog. NYMF Student Leaders Blog. The blog where leaders log about the festival shows.
So, is this the first work that you've written that's had a premiere in America?
Oh, James, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what has that experience been like for you?
It's been extremely exciting and fairly scary as well.
And where are you in the rehearsal process right now?
We've staged most of Act 1 and we'll be moving on to staging Act 2 tomorrow.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the show is about?
Yes, it's a Scottish musical comedy. It's set in Scotland in the early 17th century, and it's about a minstrel called Thomas the Rhymer who sets out to write a big heroic ballad of mortal daring do. He wants it to be his masterpiece, but along the way he gets cursed with a tongue that cannot lie. So this story he wants to write has to be the absolute truth.
Can you each talk a little bit about how the NYMF process is different from other processes, especially for Broadway?
Basically, we have 1 month to rehearse, tech, and do the show, and then within a week we're done. So it's just everything's compacted, and less rehearsal time. Even if we were to be able to install the whole, well, it's just less.
Also, I think conceptually, because the way that NYMF, there's, I don't know, 50 shows or something in the festival, there will be other shows in our theater, so you have to design your show in a way that you can get your set out there and get the next show in an hour. So conceptually, I think the shows have to make allowances for that.
Right. Try to keep things simple.
Yeah.
Hey, so we just interviewed Marrying Meg, and now we are on our way to go see Judas and Me and find out everything from those guys.
Matthew Sklar, composer of Judas and Me.
Chad Beglin, book and lyrics for Judas and Me.
Jeremy Dobrish, the director of Judas and Me.
And we are here at Judas and Me rehearsal at Shetler Studios. Can you tell me what Judas and Me is about?
Well, it's basically the story of Judas Iscariot's mother, and in the first scene the angels come down and they say, "You're going to be the mother of the Lord," and then they realize, oh, they've got the wrong tent. They actually meet her best friend Mary. So from that moment on, Judas's mother is really, she's consumed with envy, and she's determined to make her son the Messiah and better than Jesus. And so it's sort of, it's a comedy, but it's also about sort of overreaching ambition and religious hypocrisy and all those things that are a little relevant today. So it's funny, but it also sort of has a point.
So, Jeremy, this is your 4th show with NYMF. What's it like to be working on this show after 3 other shows?
Well, I love working for NYMF, obviously, or I wouldn't be back for a 4th time. I think NYMF has really become the place where if you have a new musical and you're ready to, see it in a production, albeit a low-budget production, this is the place to go.
Can you tell us a little bit about the character that you're playing in the show?
Yes, I'm playing Angel Gabriel. I think that kind of speaks for itself. And it's really a funny character because she's written very sarcastic, but very classic. So she tries to play like the classic Angel, but she's also very sarcastic, which is really fun to play because I'm kind of doing the typical Gabriel and yet doing my own spin on it too, which is fun.
What's it like to be involved in 2 NYMF events? Because you're doing Judas and Me and you're also doing the Room CD release.
I am. The Rooms of Rock Romance CD is getting released in October. Is it October 14th they got a concert? I believe. I believe so. Maybe if you get one of these you can find out, or on the website, which is NYMF.org.
Can you each tell me about your characters?
Oh wow. Well, you go first.
Well, he is a million, so it's I'm playing Judas, the titular character. It's been a really fun role to do because it's sort of like, I would say, it's sort of the Louise to Mama Rose in this show.
I play a myriad of characters. Cornucopia of characters. I play Levi, who is a sort of an elder. I play one of the 3 wise men. I play Marcus, who is a Roman soldier, and a couple other parts. It's fun.
What do you guys think of the recent vampire craze that's been sweeping the world?
fantastic. I mean, I've been a vampire fan for a long time, so it's fun to see the world catching up.
Well, I'm part Transylvanian, so for me the vampire craze is very, very old. But when you think about the fact that the #1 movie subject of all time is vampires, been more than 700 vampire movies made, so this isn't just a 2009 phenomenon, this has been a 20th century phenomenon, a 19th century phenomenon.
And why don't you give the viewers a little taste of what the show's about?
Well, the basic story of the show is two friends who reunite at a particularly desperate moment in both of their lives, go out for one last night of partying together, and they stumble upon the last surviving group of vampires in the world, fall in love with two of them, and are offered a chance to join. And in so doing, live forever. And one friend says yes, and the other friend says no, and the rest of the story is about what happens to the two of them once they make that decision.
Elizabeth, you're one of the founding members of NYMF.
I am.
And how does it feel to see how big it's become? And
I am immensely proud of the New York Musical Theater Festival. We, when we started, you know, it's been five seasons have gone by. Everybody kind of looked at us like we were insane and it would never happen. And it happened in a huge way, just right out of the gate.